Cesar, the crowd pleaser. If you need to pick me up, ladies, we gon' change your demeanor. Cesar, the crowd pleaser. We gon' do a little dance, we gon' make the naysayers believe us. Hey girl, had a long day, you tired from work. Throw me some dollars and I remove my shirt. You can touch me too, these are the perks. Free yourself, lose your mind and go berserk, and go berserk, and go berserk, and go berserk.
Make way for the bad guy.
What is up, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of Crowd Pleaser, the podcast that brings you the inside scoop on what it takes to be a male entertainer in today's age. I'm your host, Cesar the Crowd Pleaser, and this week for episode 63, we're going to be talking about the Sexiest Man in Texas contest 2019. That's right, that was a week ago. We threw down, actually a week ago today. We threw down, a bunch of entertainers did. Got a couple of great guests on the show today that we're going to review it, talk about it, cheer about it, complain about it, and let you know what went down. But we first want to mention our Patreon. That's right, that is patreon.com/crowdpleaser. That is where you can give back to the show if you feel like you've gotten something from it. Any level of support is extremely appreciated by me, and this helps me to continue to make great content for you. You can donate as little as $1 a show, all the way up to whatever your heart desires. Get all kinds of cool perks and stuff, and yeah, it's a great way to give back. I like it. Lets me know I'm doing the right thing. And yeah, it's a good way to essentially tip me on stage when you're out of state and you can't be on stage. You know what I'm saying? But once again, patreon.com/crowdpleaser. Every week I'd like to give a shout out to a random patron because I appreciate them. And this week it is Stephanie Sugg. Stephanie, you rock. Thank you so much for your support. I really, really appreciate it. Dingo appreciates it. And hope to see you soon. Next up is LaBare Dallas. This is where all three of us operate 5 nights a week. Wednesday to Sunday. You can catch us there 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. #1 ladies' destination for girls' night out. Come out, have a great time, get intoxicated, have an even better time. Or just talk to dudes and enjoy your company. That's LaBare Dallas. And finally, something a little new. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but I am streaming live at twitch.tv/Jedi_EJ, where you can catch me doing all kinds of great real life stuff and we can chat in real time. So kick it with me, let me know how you're doing, and stay up to date on Twitch. And of course, on the Patreon, you can catch the video version of this podcast where you can see Dingo throwing some serious moves down as well as being super dapper. So, without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce the Northeast Central Southwest by Northeast 53-degree man about town, man of multiple talents, endless inspiration, a voice like an angel descending from heaven, Mandingo Jones.
You know, about 2 weeks ago, this girl slapped me on stage, but we'll get back to that. Hey, how are y'all doing today? Mandingo Jones.
So you think it was a
Mandingo
tactical pause. You think it was a tactical pause for anticipation, but actually he was trying not to swear. That's what was going on there.
Or laugh. Who knows? Who knows what's going on now?
Mandingo also moonlights as a documentary narrative, so definitely check that
come
out.
on. I'm no David Attenborough.
Catch him on the Exploring Africa Continent special coming out next week on the Discovery Channel.
Yeah, baby. No, next week is Shark Week, man. Come on, I can't intrude on their premises.
Maybe. I mean, depends what sharks they're going at.
Okay. We'll get back to that because those great white sharks off the coast of South Africa, man. I tell you what, I can narrate those all day.
Oh man, I'm about to hit a special. We might have to do that one day. You come over and we just throw on the Discovery Channel, but I leave it on mute and just be like, go to town, Dingo.
Are you gonna record it?
Heck yeah, I am.
All right, then that sounds like a plan.
Did you ever see that one meme where it's like 3 or 4 pictures of sharks, but they replace their teeth with human teeth?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. It's so cheesy, but it's so freaking hilarious. Have you seen that, Suave?
No, it's ridiculous.
Oh, dude, it's freaking great. They have like the typical great white jumping out of the water to grab like fish or whatever.
Yeah.
And they slapped a smile on it. Oh god, it looks freaking hilarious. Like not menacing at all. Just because to show you, if you want to be a serial killer, just start smiling at people.
One of them has a grill.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, with that, our number 2 man about town, the man that has helped me create all kinds of new photo shoots for you guys. He has his own editorial and editing company, advertisements, photo shoots, the works. Great entertainer on stage, and been a resident here at Dallas LaBare for a good long while now. Good friend of mine, great friend of yours. Welcome to stage, by the stage. Welcome to the mic, Suave the Dream.
Hey, what's up? How you doing? Thank you, man, for having me.
Great to have you here, bud. Great to have you here. Hi, Dingo. Well, you're firing off on all cylinders, brother. How you want to kick this off, man?
Well, let's talk about well, actually, if we're going to talk about the strip off, one of the first things that came to my mind when you mentioned that was it. And I actually told Suave this last week sometime, but it went very, very smoothly. I think Caden did an absolutely excellent job running the show.
Yep.
He did an excellent job running the show. And Pablo did an excellent job handling all our things, getting where they needed to be back in a timely fashion and getting the next show set up. It was probably the most smooth competition event I have ever been a part of. I've never been in a competition that went that smoothly. Small minor errors were made in some places, but it was much more could have went wrong.
It's actually kind of funny that you mentioned that, because that was one of the first things that came to my mind when I was thinking about what we were going to talk about on the show. That I was like, yeah, like that was legit. We had minimal hiccups even with out-of-towners, which normally throws a wrench in the gears. But things went great. Like you said, both Pablo and Caden went smooth. I think a big proponent of that was the fact that certain individuals that will remain nameless chose to not inebriate themselves, especially at the beginning of the night, and so that helped actually maintain a timetable and accurate communication between everyone. And yeah, things worked out really well, man. I really can't complain. The only hiccup I had all night, which says something, they only have one, was I guess you can count a little stage malfunction, but I really don't. But that Nathan did a last minute cowboy that we were not prepared for, so that kind of threw off my VIP timetable a little bit. But other than that, yeah, man, the night went super smooth. How about you, Suave?
Yeah, smooth. No problems here. No complaints.
So real quick, before we dive into it, let me go ahead and break it down for those listeners that don't know what we're talking about. So LaBare has every 3 months or quarter, we throw a special event that we invite people from across the globe to come out and compete, see who's the best of the best. And we get to motivate ourselves to create new shows. Has a different flavor for the ladies that frequent the club. And the Sexiest Man in Texas is unique in the fact that it is a pageant style event where there are 4 categories. Every gentleman comes out in a suit. Every gentleman comes out in club wear or nightwear. Every gentleman comes out in swimwear or beach wear. And then lastly, they are judged on their stage presence and new routine. And like I said, they are scored for each and every one of them. All the scores are tallied up by several judges. And then we place first, second, third, and fourth. So that's what went down last week at LaBare Dallas. All right, Dingo.
Well said, my brother. If they ain't know, then now they do. Very descriptive. Good job.
Appreciate that. Of course, when you drug out that well, that reminded me of Ace's sign off, where it's like, well, here comes the big show.
I always, whenever I'm DJing, I typically I forget that he's accustomed to that. So I had to get him off stage. I literally have to play that.
Yeah, Caden has us all trained, man. As soon as we hear those first couple of notes or chords from our sign off song, we're like bounce.
Yeah. It's always something the exact opposite of what you've been listening to the whole time. It's like, okay, it's time to go. It's time to get
playing straight like R&B the whole time, and then he throws on some Led Zeppelin or something like that. But like, I get off. Yeah.
All right, it's time to go, guys.
So I know both of you have traveled to Dallas to do strip offs. Was this the first Sexiest Man for either of you?
I believe it was for me. Well, no. I have done Sexiest Man. It was a few years ago. I remember I did my Prince act.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've done one Sexiest Man.
Gotcha.
So this is my second.
So how was the second time around?
I think I did a lot better, because I had more experience. And of course I spent more time here in Dallas, so I was able to help out in a lot of shows and everything like that. So I had a lot more fun. All in all, I think I had a better experience this time around.
Right on. How about you, Dingo?
I think it was my third or fourth.
Dingo,
maybe
just
fifth.
A veteran across the board.
Yeah.
I came first in 2013.
No joke. Dope.
Remember the voodoo one?
Oh, damn. You took that one down? That's legit.
That was the first. Well, with the staff, with the
Yeah,
I brought that. Yeah.
I know what routine you're talking about. That's my favorite routine that you do.
Really?
Yeah, like don't get me wrong. I like the guns. I like Desperado, especially with the hat flipping. But I don't know, Voodoo just had a great feel to it, man, and I just dug it.
Man, well, that was the very first one I made originally. Very, very first one. Appreciate that. So, man, I lost my train of thought. I just can't stop thinking about that act now.
Was that your first act or your first act in the competition? Voodoo.
The original act that I had was the weed act, but that wasn't originally made by me. That was given to me by Cherokee, and it was altered for me by XL. So I didn't have a hand in making that as much. XL made if I recall correctly, XL made the audio of the voodoo act, and then I came up with the concept of it. So the original thought, my first act where it was all original thought was the voodoo one. That was my first original act. And then, but yeah, I've done Sexiest Man. I can't remember if it's 3, 4, or 5, but I've done it at least 3 times.
What'd you wear for the suit portion?
It wasn't that good. I looked like a substitute teacher. It was just all. It was like a brown fit, older style. Looked like I needed to have those dad glasses from the 80s. You know what I'm talking about?
Was it just like a last minute pick, or like you didn't have enough time to get something else dry cleaned?
I wanted to. Well, what I was gonna wear for that part, I actually ended up wearing for the casual part. And last year I had more of like a stronger African themed dress, like suit outfit, but I didn't have that prepared this year. I didn't want to wear the same one.
I mean, you kind of could, considering that it was probably 80% new crowd and new judges. You know what I'm saying?
It's a good point.
I mean, I feel you. I haven't worn the same suit twice, so I feel you on that. But at the same time, like, when it's as unique and, what you're bringing to the table, like, why not?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think of it that way. I just didn't want to do the same thing. To me, it was like, I'm doing the same thing. I don't want to do the same thing.
No, I hear you. We're always our worst critic, man.
For sure.
What'd you bring, Suave?
For the suit portion, I had red shirt, black tie, black pea coat, black pants. So.
Oh, I did see that pea coat, man. That was sharp.
I appreciate it.
I don't know how you weren't sweating like a madman in it, but that was sharp. What'd you bring for the club wear?
For the club wear, leather jacket, this really cool snake skin print tank top, and boots, black jeans. Yeah, that's what I usually wear on the weekend.
Yeah, real clothes, right? Yeah, for the club wear, the one thing I do wear every year is back when I was salsa dancing, I used to have this belt that was gifted to me, and it's an Asian dragon across the belt. It's the belt buckle, but it's so big it stretches around like literally a third of the belt. So I always wear that because I used to wear it when I would go salsa dancing. The only thing is it's so big and obnoxious and clunky, I can't wear it like a normal belt like you're supposed to.
I feel you.
So I lean it over and throw it over one hip, so the buckle's off to the side. but I feel like it throws a really cool accent because people just see this giant metal thing, like what? And when they get closer, they see the dragon.
Yeah.
So I always throw it out there. I happen to throw it on the judges' side for the event, but kind of one of the things, regardless of what jeans or pants or shirts I wear, I always throw that out there just as my little signature. How many people actually notice it? I don't know, but you know, I know that's my little bit of flavor, if you will.
Flair.
Mm-hmm.
Ric Flair. Woo!
So what'd you guys think of the swimsuit contest portion category thing?
Simple. I just put on my swimming trunks.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything special. I literally just put on my swimming trunks, some shades, and grabbed the towel.
Yeah.
I tried to show out.
Know.
I mean, that's the one
I
that
tried to show out.
I feel like that's the one that's always a little like kind of weird, just because of the fact that we all dance in our underwear. So it's like he wants to just put shorts on.
Exactly.
That's why you gotta. Yeah, I thought about that, and I was like, "That's you gotta add more to it, baby. Add more to it, dog."
Most guys did too. Most guys did. I was trying. I thought I had a sarong somewhere back there, but I didn't. I couldn't find it. So it might have been in one of my other boxes. Or I brought it home to wash or something like that.
I left my sarong too. I was gonna bring it. I couldn't find it, so I had to fandangle something up. But
man, so often you and I are on the same wavelength.
Well, if only we were perfect. If only.
True story. Maybe one day when our streams collide.
Did you see? You never crossed the streams, bro. You ain't seen Ghostbusters?
That's exactly what I was referencing. That man.
Never crossed the streams, man.
Did you see the remake?
I have not.
Yeah, me either.
I haven't been compelled to.
Yeah, me either. It was one of those movies that got a little bit of hype beforehand, and then once it came out, you never heard from it again. So
yeah, once I saw the
man.
cast,
Oh, speaking of movies, does anyone know if Endgame beat out Avatar?
Endgame.
Endgame.
Oh, Avengers Endgame?
Yeah.
Probably.
I have no
It was
idea.
better than Avatar.
Well,
in my opinion.
it was like it wasn't a thing until it beat Titanic, and then they were like, "Oh crap! Like this is legit."
Yeah.
So, and then I know there was an argument about them re-releasing it with an extra 11 minutes of footage.
The question is, did it beat Dark Knight?
Oh yeah, it crushed it. Yeah. No, Titanic was the number 2
Woo!
grossing movie of all time, and then Avatar was number 1. That's why they.
I actually had no idea.
Yeah.
But Avatar, Avatar didn't have the storyline leading up to Endgame.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it can't compete with it. How?
No.
How could it compete with us? How can it compete with it being weaved and created all the way up to this point where it's literally like everyone you've ever been introduced to in the Marvel universe is about to fight this guy, and there's no way Avatar. It would be pathetic if Avatar was still there. It would make no sense.
The
Too much of a buildup. Sorry.
The interesting thing about Avatar, though, is that the trend, as far as like revenue generated, actually climbed the longer it was in the theaters instead of declined.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes off of what you were saying. So apparently, the way it worked out was that it had its regular hype for being a new movie, right? So whoever was down to see that kind of movie went to go see it. But as people were coming out of the theaters and be like, "Man, that was amazing! You need to go see it. Man, that actually is a good movie. You need to go see it." Then it started to build up hype, and it actually picked up the longer it was in theaters before it dropped off again. Versus most movies, you know, their first 2 weeks are the highest, and then they slowly taper down. So, though I will say this, I would like to see what The Matrix did, because I don't know about you guys, but when the first Matrix came out, I had no idea what that movie was. Like, we went to go see it on a whim.
Yeah.
Because all the advertisement was just, what is the Matrix? What's the Matrix? And then Trinity on the phone or monologuing.
That's good marketing though, because it gets you interested.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know?
Super good marketing.
You're like, what is the Matrix?
Literally, because then because remember, my boy and I went to the movie theater. We sat down and watched, and like literally in that first scene where Trinity jumps up in the air to do that flying crane kick, and then they freeze her and do that bullet time.
Yeah.
We were like,
oh, that scene changed action movies forever, man. That made a huge impact. Action movies in the future.
Anywho,
but if you notice, we're starting to kind of incorporate a lot of like the Hong Kong kung fu effects into our movies over here. That's starting to combine with our special effects. That's going to, oh man, it's going to be a beautiful thing. With advances, man.
Dude.
Think about them programming. I mean, if you look at Star Wars has very like Wing Chun-y elements of movement. And
Yeah.
you know
Oh
what I'm
yeah, for
saying?
sure.
You know
Well,
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
that's the
That's
Jedi's using the Force. That makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
the flow of all that, and you know.
Bro, can you imagine how dope our promo videos for the club would be if we could get bullet time? Like a dude's about to rip his pants off, and then we bullet time around in a circle, and then rip the pants, and the girls are just going crazy. Oh man, I almost feel like we should fake it. We should get like on a Sunday or Wednesday when we have all the regulars and stuff. Be like, all right, I'll bring my gimbal, and then we'll like record a guy on stage, and then right before something happens, everyone just like there's a cue where everyone just stops moving, and then move the camera all the way around, and then pick it back up, almost like we simulate bullet time.
Yeah.
That'd be so dope.
Hey, just connect somebody to that chain above where the rope is, and then like suspend them up there, and then edit out the chain if you can.
What?
Think about
With the camera? Oh, you mean like you're talking
like
about
they're
this.
jumping,
Yeah, I
like
got you.
they jump. You know what I'm saying?
So
They hit the.
So funny story about that is that one of the studios that I used to take aerial training at actually just incorporated bungees into their course curriculum. Bungees is actually a thing of circus, and it's been around for a minute. There have been a couple of schools that have adapted it. So we actually could like make that happen like legitimately if we really wanted to. But I mean, damn.
Are we? But are we? Is the question.
I mean, it wouldn't work for our show. Girls would be like, "Why are they jumping? Why are they jumping in slow mo?
Yeah,
Why
but
are
it
their
would
pants
just.
still on?"
It'll just. Yeah, oh man, take it off.
That's,
While you're in the middle of-
that's my favorite thing, man. You're doing some bomb ass, hard working, great choreography, super in depth show, and then all of a sudden you just hear, "Take your pants off."
I don't know why I don't like when women say that. Even though that's what I'm gonna do, and I know that's my job description, I just don't like when they say that. I'm like, can I take them off at my own pace? You know, it's exactly like you're saying. You know, you're doing your show. Like,
Well, the
It's
worst,
like-
just
it's
wait
like when
like 2 minutes.
the worst thing about it too, though, is that those are the exact same women that like are anticlimactic about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They can't wait for you to take your pants off, and then you do your show, you build it up, you rip your pants off. They don't scream. They go back and sit down. They don't. It's like,
You know what I'm
what?
saying?
What?
And it's like you were basically telling me to take the trash out when I was already walking out the door with the bag. Now I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Take out the trash. You know what? No, I will not.
You're not the boss of me.
Huh?
You're not the boss of me. I do it or won't.
You know what I'm saying? Take it off. What are we even talking about? How did we get here?
I'm gonna take my pants off, but because I want to take them off, not because you're yelling at me to take them off.
Yeah, bro. It's frustrating. So is the life of an entertainer. So is the life of us.
I remember a while ago, a long time ago, there was a group of like 12 older women on off to the right in front of the DJ booth, and man, they were losing their minds for me to take down my quote unquote man bun, like straight up losing their minds. I was like, cool, just come up to the stage and you can take it off for me or whatever. Not a single one of them even got up. Like I was like, screw it, I left it in the bun. Because I mean, but for real, they were like hand signaling me and yelling at me and like absolutely everything. I was like, well, if you just take the 5 steps to come up to the stage, I'll do it. But I ain't gonna do stupid human tricks for you. I got some kind of dignity. Ooh,
You know what I mean?
Actually, that's my worst event of the week. Good call. And that happened on the strip off. Perfect. I'm gonna write that down. So after this massive tangent, is there anything else you'd like to add about the strip off? Did you guys see any routines you liked? Did you see anything interesting happen?
I mean, I think we all did a good job. To be real,
We want to do good.
I was really impressed by your routine. Has anyone recorded it? Was it recorded that night?
One of the other instructors from the studio I teach at was there. She recorded some of it, and then I recorded the whole thing for my Patreon. So yeah, that's right. Speaking of which, patrons out there, by the time you are listening to this, the full routine will be on the Patreon. So if you are at the appropriate tier level of pledging, you will be able to see this. For the rest of you muggles, no. But
Wait, what?
Well, there you have it. If you weren't there to see it, that's how you can see it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I really do. It's one of
I
the
wish
things
I saw it.
one of the things I actually like about strip offs is the ability to watch what other guys pour their heart and soul into. I think we all have stories of where a lady's coming up to tip us, or we're in the middle of a dance, and we just straight up hold up a second. This is gonna be a minute. And you turn around and watch the dude on stage.
Yeah, I do that a lot. If a woman's tipping me and I like what's going on, I will physically turn her around. I was like, oh, no, look over there. You know what I mean? There's a reason why we have a main stage.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
true
saying? So,
story.
I wish more of us thought that way.
Yeah, I do appreciate you being there in a pinch, Dingo, to help me out. I mean,
Yeah. Sorry about not being able to catch the whole thing, man. But I couldn't. I
Yeah.
wanted to. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that I was like, man, I can't be in his act and see that because. All right, I know I can see the video.
You get in the DJ booth.
Huh?
You could have sat in the DJ booth until your part to come out.
Nah, man. It's that's like looking. That's like standing next to the TV. Instead of
that's right.
I didn't want
The
that.
paranormal.
I didn't
view.
want. I'd rather watch the whole picture. I'd rather see the whole picture. Now that I think about it, actually, no, I don't like the judge's placement. They're too far to the side. They need to be across the back and see the whole picture.
For real. Yeah, I agree.
I just thought about that.
As far as in my personal opinion, I think the judges should be in the back row of the pit.
Yeah.
They can see everything, and they can see the symmetry of our work. Mm-hmm. They don't see it as well from the side. It's just, not saying that they're close up. That's good. That's nice. But, or even maybe if they were on the front row, the very front row, the tables in front of us, even like that's, in my opinion, better because it's symmetrical. It's right in the middle. Mm-hmm. But anyway, yeah, I wish I could have got, and that's, man, that's the only thing. I can't be in an act and effectively watch it how I want to. So, and ladies listening, I know you can say, let's just go watch the video, which you can. And by all means, I'm sure it is awesome. But as you probably know, there ain't nothing like a live experience, especially when somebody's doing a show like what he did. So that's what I mean. Like, I wish I could have seen it from the outside. Glad to help, obviously. But, you know what I'm saying? Seeing it from the outside, I'm sure it was something to experience.
We'll see if I do it this weekend or not. I'm not 100% sure yet. If it was
I'm not even there.
Oh, all right. Well, shoot, maybe next weekend then.
But hey, do it. Still do it.
No, I'm not really sure, man. I'm kind of on the fence on whether it's going to be a one-time shot or if it's going to be repetitive. You know what I'm saying? Like,
ladies, you know what that means. That means if y'all want him to do this, y'all need to be in the building. That means he ain't going to do it if you're not there. So basically, he's kindly saying, get up off your keisters and sit them in the seats around the stage for him to do this spectacular act. And I'm telling you, it is spectacular. I saw about 15 seconds of it, and I was impressed. And I was like, you know what? I'm sad that I missed most of this.
That
so
good
I'm telling you,
movie marketing.
I'm just saying, man. Are you ready, ladies? Cesar, the crowd pleaser.
oh,
If
bro.
you want to see him, get up off your keister. But anyway,
I need to introduce you to Fiverr, man. Fiverr is a website where you can hire all kinds of different people for like individual contracts. Like animators can animate something for you, but they have like commercial voices on there and voiceover actors and stuff like that.
Nice.
So we need to get you an account on there, Dingo, because like for real, man, sound legit, bro.
That's actually really cool that they have that.
Yeah.
If you're a voice actor and you're looking for work,
It's actually really great because I went on there looking for animated stuff. I was like, let me see what else is on there, you know, because maybe I can get someone to give me a wicked intro, right? And sure enough, they have like the guy that does the Budweiser commercials and stuff like that, and it's great because he looks like average Joe.
Yeah.
But then he's like, hey man, I'm so and so and this and that. You know me from these kinds of commercials, and I'm like, oh damn, all right. Guy threw in the intensity. I'm like, this guy.
Man, you got it too, bro. He hit that though, didn't he? Just now.
Dude, it was legit, man. I was like, all right, that's what's up. Like, and then they had the clips of like, the Anheuser-Busch, I always forget the name of those horses. I know the listeners right now are yelling it at me.
What, Clydesdales?
Yeah, there you go.
The ones that are 8 feet tall?
Yeah. And it had
Bro,
them,
first time I saw one of those, I was amazed by the raw size of this beast.
8 feet tall horses?
Well, I'd say that was exaggerating, but this horse on all fours was
Yeah.
a little bit taller than me, maybe.
Huge, man.
And the first time, I'd probably be impressed the 8th time I saw those things.
Bro, it's such a big animal. Big, beautiful animal, and like the way the way its hair was falling and its mane, it was a gorgeous animal. I was working at a country club, and these people could somehow afford this. So a Clydesdale pulled up on a Clydesdale, like pulled up and was like their carriage out. All extremely wealthy people, all very nice people. I remember that. They're very nice to me. I liked them. But they like, you know what I'm saying? And I saw this animal in person. I was just mesmerized. It's one of the most beautiful animals I've ever seen in person is a Clydesdale. They're gorgeous animals.
Not an alpaca?
Nah, man. I don't like those guys.
You try to stay away from them, right?
I avoid them at all costs. If y'all only knew the context of that. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
so, yeah.
Some people watch the video version of this. So, I mean, he's meandering about, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, they can see me right now? Or they will be able to see me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, shit, I ain't hiding nothing. You know me. Everybody knows what I be. You know what I'm saying? Hey, have you seen it? Hey, I have to send y'all this. Bryce sent me this the other day, but it was Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he was holding a cigar.
Uh-huh.
And it says, when I smoke my so-and-so out in public. And it was Arnold Schwarzenegger with a cigar. And he said something like, I smoke my stogie out in public. I don't have... He was like, I don't have to hide when I smoke a stogie like you. He said something like that. He was like, I smoke my stogie in public because I'm a stud. I don't have to hide my stogie like you. Something like that. And he started laughing. It was funny. It was hilarious, though.
Schwarzenegger does have one of those contagious laughs, though, for sure. Like, even in Pumping Iron, whenever he started laughing, man, it just... That's the one thing that has not changed from that dude ever. He'll be on his deathbed and he'll laugh, and everyone around has to laugh, man. It's so contagious and so, like, distinct, too. Like, everyone knows exactly when that dude is laughing.
His... I can't even do it. I have to practice that one.
What's the matter, Dylan? You've been pushing too many pencils.
Pushing too many pencils? Hey, if you ever seen Fairly Odd Parents, they have that fairy on there that's supposed to be like him.
Yeah, that military guy with no
Jordan.
legs.
Yeah, he ain't got no legs though. That's disrespectful if it's referring to Arnold, because we all know Arnold's legs were jacked. But yeah, he'd be like, "Look at my muscles, puny fatty. Look at my beautiful muscles." Like he'd be on there saying stuff like that.
Just stereotyping bodybuilders, like
You know what I'm
just
saying?
go around just insulting people that are smaller than them. Like no one does that. They have no time to do that.
They're always lifting.
Exactly.
It is great, though. It really is great. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I really appreciate all those, like, oh man, stereotypes from ignorant people are hilarious to me. Did I tell you guys about the redneck gift basket, or the no, was it the racial gift basket?
Was that a joke?
It's from.
I think I heard
it's
that
from
before.
Ariel or Enrique. Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah, Gabriel Iglesias. Yeah, I remember
Dingo,
that
have you
one.
heard of that? The racist
Chamber of
basket?
Commerce.
Think
When he
so.
knocked on the door.
Nah.
Okay,
Nah.
so long story short, somebody did it to him, and so he did it to other people, and it's so funny. They ended up making a part of his skit, and long story short, someone randomly so a racist gift basket. You make a gift basket for somebody, but you put in it all the racist like stereotypical
stereotype
stuff. So like for example, like one of his like black friends made one for him. And it had like all the stuff that like all the stereotypes for Mexicans, right? And then so he made one for like his another black friend that had like, you know, fried chicken and collard greens and man, I'm trying to remember like Soul Glow.
Which
So,
everyone eats, by the way.
yeah, no joke. But
What's funny though is when he was going shopping. Do you remember that part?
oh yeah. The go ahead, you can tell.
So he's going shopping, and Gabriel's like, he goes in there and he asks an associate, hey, I need help. I'm making like this prank basket for a friend or whatever like that, and my friend's black. And he said before he can finish his sentence, the store clerk said, well, you gotta have the Kool-Aid.
Damn.
and so he's like, oh my god. And so anyway, he makes the gift basket, and he gets someone to drop it off to his friend's hotel room. And so he's waiting around the corner, and he hears his friend freaking out and getting angry, shit like that. And so he was like, if someone gave him a basket, then he would just say thank you. You know, like if it was full of like, I guess, what did he say, like chimichangas or something like that, or tacos or food.
Yeah,
and I was thinking the same thing. To be real, if someone gave me like a racist gift basket, if I wasn't like dieting, then I wouldn't care. I'd be like, okay, well,
yeah.
But it's still funny.
I
though.
mean, it was so.
I don't want them to give me already fried chicken. It's probably cold. Just give me, you know what I'm saying, the batter. Give me the chicken, and I'll handle it myself. I'll appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
already fried chicken. How long did he have that chicken fried? 2 days?
We gotta send you the clip.
Part of the skit is that like he was like, I heard him screaming all this stuff. I thought he was pissed as hell. I was laughing. I walk in there, and he's enjoying the hell out of it. He's loving it. And so long story short, the end of the skit is that he's doing a show in Alabama or something like that, like super honky-tonk place. And some redneck dude, like straight up stereotypical redneck from the boonies, comes out and stops his show to make him open the racist gift basket live on stage. And so he goes
I didn't see that.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's hilarious. No, it's part of the skit. Like,
okay.
I don't know if he has the actual show of that one.
Okay.
But it was so good. He was like, this dude stole the show from me. Never have I had anyone steal the show from me. And this dude just straight up turned the entire 400-person crowd audience against me.
That's funny.
So he had to stop his show and open the racist gift basket on stage. And so it was so good that he ended up just putting it on, like he added it to his skit, like telling that story. So yeah, dude, offline, you got, YouTube listeners, if you guys get the chance, Google or YouTube racist gift basket. It's absolutely hilarious because he goes through like everything in the baskets, and it's funny too. The last one is funny because not only is he going through the racist gift basket himself, but he keeps talking about how enthusiastic the redneck was about it. So that just added to it. It was great, man. Fluffy is a phenomenal entertainer. I think he is absolutely hilarious.
Oh yeah.
And I like the fact that he keeps it pretty clean too. Like I've seen 2 of his shows in person, and not once did I ever feel like this wasn't kid friendly either.
Yeah.
So, but
and that's hard to do. Talking about subject matter that appeals to adults.
Yeah.
But your kids can be right there listening in. You know what I mean? That's
hard. Oh yeah, for sure.
Then they learn that way too.
Yeah.
They remember that. Shoot, I did. A lot of stuff that might have been borderline inappropriate, I remember, and as I got older, I'm like, oh, that's what I was referencing.
So I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep the title of this podcast, but I feel like I should put in like in parentheses, like plus the tangent highway, because man, we're off topic again.
They like us. They like us in our natural form.
Just talk. I didn't think we had a subject matter.
No doubt. That's exactly what this was. Don't get me wrong. I listened to my listener base, and at the end of the day, like there's someone that likes a little bit of everything. There's not a single kind of show. Some people like when I interview people. Some people like when I go in depth about one of our skill sets, and other people like when we're just joking around, cracking up with each other. So there's no wrong answer at all. I ain't worried about it. I just thought it was funny. That's all. I would like to get in a little bit of talk about the strip off or something. You know what I'm saying? But
Well, good thing I forgot what I was about to say because it would have taken us on a whole nother tangent.
well, you audibled your routine for the strip off. No,
Say what?
you had an audible, right? Because you asked me to help you with Pirate or Jack Sparrow
Oh,
the Django.
Yo, I'm gonna step away for a second.
Alright.
Okay. So I was originally going to do Captain Black Sparrow, but I didn't get to practice with one of my lead guys. That would be a one of the naval captains that I have the choreographed sword fight with. I couldn't.
It was actually the same person that you
pull that
ended
together.
up filling in for in my routine.
Oh, is it?
That's why I had to ask you the night of.
Oh man. So and then one guy quit, and then another guy. Well, two guys quit that I was using as the naval officers. So I didn't really have any one to do the act with. And I wasn't going to try to teach another person the act 1 or 2 days before the whole event. Like I practiced that act before Texas versus Florida for a reason. So that I would just spend 15 to 30 minutes just polishing it up right before, and then I wouldn't have to, you know what I'm saying, teach anyone. But I literally lost everyone I needed with the exception of you and Suave. And I needed 3 more people. I wasn't going to ask anybody to, you know what I'm saying, do that.
Yeah, for real. I understand.
So I went ahead and went with Hammer, which people liked.
I
It
mean,
went well.
Hammer's a great routine, man. I absolutely love that thing. I think it's so high energy and upbeat, and the costumes are great, and it's a little bit of a throwback. I like it. You know what I'm saying? But that is the one thing about a strip off that I will say, when everyone wants to do good, man, you really have to kind of predetermine who's helping who and stuff, because the last thing you want to do is a night when we have 300-400 women in the club, you have a dude that's on stage half the night. You know what I'm saying? So I understand where you're coming from. It's definitely not a last minute thing, especially when you're out there to put your best foot forward and show ladies what we're all about.
For sure. Man, if you're not in shape, that act will whip you into shape.
Oh, no doubt.
Practicing it with that old 90s style choreography. High energy the whole time.
Man,
Where
I don't know, Pirate, that second part of Pirate that Suave and I help you on, it's got some pretty good oomph to it.
well, I'll tell you what. The second part of Hammer where they come out and help me is actually like they actually, if I had time to teach Ace the whole thing, then they both would have been out there a lot more, because they're actually out there with me the whole time during the act. It's just for this stage, it's a much better impact to have them come out in the second part wearing what they're wearing instead of having them out there in that the whole time. And also, I was originally going to do a 2-man with Suave, which last year when I did the act, I did a 2-man with Christian because that was all I had who knew it. Ace volunteered to learn it and learned it in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, he's a dancer, man. Choreographer.
I was like,
real quick.
Extremely quick. I was like, hey, man, are you sure? Because I don't want to have to. And he was even late to come into rehearse the next day. He still got it. Yeah, he still did it.
Ace will throw down, man. That dude has skills for days when it comes to anything involving music, for sure.
Yeah. He do
I don't know where that energy comes from, man. He has that energy out of nowhere the entire night, all
Yeah, it's
week, all the
incredible.
time. I'm just like, he's like that in his classes too. I mean, he's an awesome instructor, man. Before he told me he did Zumba, I was always skeptical about Zumba, but when he told me, "Oh, I have a Zumba class, man, come check it out," I was like, "All right, cool." And I mean, I had a blast, man. I went, I think 3 times.
Oh, nice.
It was a real fun class. So,
Yeah.
Legs on fire, huh?
There's a reason.
oh yeah,
There's a reason why that dude's freaking eating rice in the back all the time.
He's got a carb load.
He's in great shape, dog. That dude is like he's like the Energizer Bunny incarnated as an African man. The Energizer Bunny. the Energizer S.
Oh God, you need to do that on next time you're DJing. You
Yeah,
totally
that's his
need to do
intro.
that.
That's his new intro.
Oh,
Ladies,
dude.
all the way. All the way.
Bro, oh my God, I will give you I will double tip out, man, if you freaking MC my set like that.
That's easy, bro. That's how my family sounds. That's just me reverting back to my nature.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. It's a good change of pace. I might have to change over the voiceover, the one that I have of Caden for my sets. I might just have to make you do that.
Ladies, make some noise.
Yes. Yes.
That'd be so funny. Ladies, what are you waiting for? You don't have to be afraid. Go and tip this man.
Long hair extraordinaire.
Oh, the long-haired extraordinaire. Mr. Oh my God, is him. Mr. Oh my God, is him.
Oh God, that is epic. So, did you grow up speaking with that kind of accent and pronunciation, or did you grow up like?
No, English was primarily what I did, but I just heard it so much.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I understand. I was just curious which one you had to learn afterwards. Oh man, that's freaking epic. Kind of makes me wish I picked up on my parents' accent a little bit more. I mean, I could parody my mom's accent, but I can't like nail it across the board like that.
My mom actually usually sounds more like, maybe I don't notice it. She has an accent, but she has a bit of an English accent,
Yeah,
kind of.
that's actually what I was gonna ask you because of South Africa. If anyone that you knew or anyone in your family had a more English accent than,
Well, that would be because she lived there.
okay, gotcha.
But originally it was France who was in Sierra Leone, where she's from.
Okay, gotcha.
So a little bit of the dialect is mixed with French.
Yeah, I can definitely hear that. You know, there's definitely a mix there
Yeah.
from when I met her.
So would it sound a little bit closer to like Creole?
Nah, it's not Creole.
Yeah,
Really?
actually, but
Well, Creole,
but it's
French,
mixed with.
French descent.
Well, yeah, I know that. I mean, I'm part Creole.
It's like
but-
French. It's like French, English, and African dialect.
Gotcha.
For some reason, somehow English. Even they somehow managed to get that there. When French were the people who were like there. So, man, this is all of this from Hammer.
All of this from Hammer. Hammer, don't hurt him, Hammer.
Hammer don't hurt him. Pumps in the bump. The girl with the pumps in the bump. He's still dancing on his Instagram. Still going hard. Still pop locking in the mirror.
Seriously,
Smooth.
I'm about to hook him. What's his
That's right,
Instagram?
he is.
It's just MC Hammer.
Okay.
Pumps in the bump. Doing hard choreography. I'm like, bro, ain't you almost 50?
Dude, I had that
Well,
CD
I mean,
too.
hey, when you
I
take
literally
care of
had that
yourself.
CD.
He's just keeps him young, man.
Oh
That's
my
the
God,
only
that
reason?
profile picture, man. The shoulders on that suit are like 2 feet wide. Dang. Now I'm gonna try to find Video of him actually throwing down. I don't follow too many stars, but I follow him, or not I follow him, but I follow Arnold, I follow Mark Wahlberg. I tried to follow Keanu Reeves, but he doesn't have one. Big surprise. One of the most humble people on the planet.
Yeah.
Dude, that dude is such a great example of a human being.
Yeah, I see it. The suit, the shoulders on it.
Yeah, bro, look at that. It literally takes up it. He can only fit one shoulder in the profile pic. Instagram can't handle both shoulders. Look at that.
Yeah, man.
That's funny.
He had to crop it so there's 2/3 of him, and he's off to one side because them shoulder boards. Dang.
He's not allowed. He's not allowed to.
They can't handle it. Instagram can't handle it. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you what. Oh, MC Hammer. Yeah, man. So Suave, you hit him with the good old Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime and greased in just a minute, Mr.
Yeah, man, I had to, man. Ever since I started shaving my head, I had to figure out how I was gonna adjust. Life is different when you don't have hair on your head.
I'm not gonna lie though. It works.
I'm sure.
It works though. I can't see a single Mr. Clean without thinking about you now. So thanks for that.
Nah, it's great, bro. Mr. Clean is very relevant. He's still on TV doing his thing, man. So it's perfect. It's a very intimate feel when it's like somebody's there taking care of you and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for real. Man, it's funny. Jingles like that just really do get stuck, bro. But man, I caught myself the other day humming that thing to myself. I didn't even notice it. I forgot what I was doing, but I was humming it. I was like, "What the?"
It's catchy, and I used the original one too.
Yeah,
the original cut.
Original.
I think my favorite. I don't know why, but I think my favorite part of that whole routine and that song is when you're doing the whole like leaning back driving to it. It's like putting up my whole damn team.
Yeah.
Oh.
The remix.
Yeah.
Bum 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 bum. Yeah. What's his name? Gravy or something?
Yeah, Gravy.
Gravy Train?
Something. I think it's Young Gravy. It's like a comedic rapper.
Yeah, it's funny.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Splash. Splash.
Nothing wrong with that.
Mr. Clean. Mr. Clean. Oh, you already know what I'm going to tell you you should do, bro. You got to bring it back. You got to bring it back. I will gladly help you. I will make it shorter. I will do whatever, but you got to bring this back. Should I say it? Or should I say it?
It's
Should I say
probably
it?
something that a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but a few people that appreciate it have told me to do. But
Well, I have told you to do one other one, but it's not the one you're thinking. Well, it's not what you're thinking, because you mentioned that one earlier. I'm not talking about that one.
Okay.
Although that one, you just got to read the room for that one.
Yeah.
But the one I'm talking about, it's going to be much more of a hit in Dallas than where we were, bro.
You talking about Lifeguard?
No, that's good too, but no, I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good one.
You gotta, come on, bro.
A friend of mine just sent that to me.
Exactly. That's how.
Hold on, I'm gonna send this to
exactly
you,
how I
Dingo.
feel.
One of my friends made this meme with me. I'm gonna send it to you.
Yeah, I actually
But
still have that on my laptop. I was listening to it the other day, actually.
Hey, man, for fall,
Yeah.
bro, perfect. You have other plans right now, but
Dude,
just don't forget about that one.
I don't even know what another routine would be for me, man. I barely thought I can.
What next?
I mean,
Are you gonna do the splits, Jean-Claude Van Damme style, between two 18-wheelers on stage?
Bro, if I could, bro. If I could.
Swinging, flaming boy. Colored flaming boy? Color changing flaming boy? How much more ridiculous can it get?
Actually, that's actually a good point. We need to do that, Suave. We need to set up a shoot where I can get on the chains, lock myself in, and then spin poi. Actually, oh man, so funny you should mention that. I almost freaked out because as of right now, don't get me wrong, I don't think I'm 100% original, and there's no one that's done the two together, but I haven't seen it, right? And then I started to follow Ariel Chain's hashtag on Instagram, and I kid you not, I opened up my Instagram like 2 days ago, and there's a dude in chains, right? And his buddy is holding a pair of fire poi on fire. I was like, no freaking way.
Yeah.
It turns out that the guy just ends up spinning his buddy, and then does the guy that was holding the fire poi does the poi in front of him. So one guy's doing chains, the other guy's doing the fire poi. So my heart kind of skipped a beat and then recovered. But man, I was about to be like, no.
No. You lose.
Bro. You guys have no idea, man. My intuition, like, I can't tell you how many times I've been like a minute too late and a dollar too short on things, man.
Oh man, I know.
It's like,
trust me,
the exact idea that pops into my head. I'm like, yeah, all right, let's see what's up. And just someone beats me to the punch, man, by like just a hair. And it's just like, and it's never like a failed attempt. It's like, man, boy, I dodged the bullet there. It's always like, son of a, that could have been me.
Yeah, bro.
Oh.
Sometimes you just gotta pull the trigger.
Yeah. Oh man.
No.
Yeah, bro. I'm not gonna lie, man. I puckered. It was like a good 12 seconds before the dude started spinning the poi. So I was sweating those 12 seconds. I'm like, this dude is not gonna be doing fire poi on chains. I know he ain't. I'm like, is he? No, he didn't. Thank goodness, though.
Oh, close false.
So hold up. All right. So let me go ahead and vent just a smidge, all right? Because I take my craft very seriously, and I accept creative criticism, both positive and negative. I don't mind it at all. I have no ego. I check that out the door. So I am willing to accept all things, but when it comes to stuff that kind of goes against logic, I have a bit of an issue with that. And I found out through the grapevine that 2 scores on the strip off, and that's all I'm gonna give. This is all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna throw it out there so you guys can hear it, and I guess the 200 viewer listeners that listen to this. But don't get me wrong. I mean, obviously, I got the score I got, and I'm cool with that. I am cool until this one little snippet, and one of the judges gave me a 4 for originality
out of
10.
Whoo!
So
How?
Yeah, here's my issue. Like, I feel like that's just plain factual. In the time that you guys have been dancing and hearing stories of acts from other people, have any of you ever heard of anything remotely close to what I did on stage?
No. Not even close. In 4 years dancing,
6,
almost 5. No,
Yeah.
not even close. I've danced at different clubs. I've seen different guys. I've even been on the internet and I've seen shows dating back all the way to 1980, the OGs of male dancing. I haven't seen anything that would warrant you getting a 4 on originality. I would have given you, even if I didn't like you, I would have given you at least an 8.
Yeah, I'm saying though,
If I didn't like you,
like, don't get me wrong, you don't have to give me a
like
10,
just like out of a conscience. But personally, yeah, I would have given you a 10.
but a 4, that's like sub 50%. Like 50%.
Yeah,
is failing.
and here's the thing too, and
yeah, that's
I'm not gonna.
good.
Was it because I started with clothes on?
I'm not
Has
gonna
that
get
been done
too-
before?
I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but there has to be a system where we screen judging and make sure that there's not a shred of any bias. you know.
Well, that's not gonna happen.
And I know, but to a degree, whether that means we have more judges or past dancers, something, I don't know how they get selected, but I felt like that seems like there was a hiccup there. I'll just say that there was a hiccup there.
The thing is that the thing is that some of the things we're scored upon are sex appeal and overall body.
Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is that, and those two things, like for example, I taught my lap dance class a month ago. One of the things I do is I teach theory, not technique, because who is anyone to say what is sexy to somebody? And so when you leave it open like that, where you're like, hey, you know what I'm saying, what is your sex appeal? Like, for example, Judge A might like facial hair. Judge B might not. So that right there in of itself is going to change the skew or the measuring stick.
I agree.
For what sex appeal is. You know what I'm saying? And that's why those certain categories, I'm cool with the subjective part of it. You know what I'm saying? And I like to see all my scores because I look for consistency. I look to see like, okay, all these judges gave me a 4 or 5 on body. I gotta fix that. You know what I'm saying? When it's one of those things where you see like 7, 8, 9, and then 2, okay, cool. That is strictly, that's just personal preference. You know what I'm saying? And because of those things where there's no right and wrong answer, the judging is always gonna be a little weird. It's just the factual ones they get.
So just one judge gave you a 4 on that?
From what I was told, I didn't get to see my score sheets. We didn't. They normally do, but this year they didn't. What's another one? Like for example, when I did Drogo, my Cal Drogo skit, I found out a judge gave me a 5. Or that one I did see my score sheets, and they're up on the Patreon. A judge gave me a 5 on costume. That was the one that set me off that year.
Fools.
Yeah, like, you guys have seen it. If you guys don't know, go to my Instagram. Look at, I have a Cal Drogo from Game of Thrones cosplay. And I'm gonna brag a little bit, but other than being about 2 feet shy of what he is, I look just like that dude.
And that's the thing too, though, is that some people are subjective because you might have a judge that's like, I like guys that wear suits, and I think that's sexy. Anything other than a suit and it's trashy and it doesn't look good, right? Or you might have the judge that's, I like something other than that because I want my guy to be my fantasy guy that I see in a show. And so if he is wearing a suit, even if it's a nicely tailored suit, even if it's a beautiful suit, be a Gucci Armani suit, I don't like it because I prefer this. So, I mean, technically any category can be subjective, and it sucks because you have to, I feel like the only people that should be judging are people that have some sort of background in entertainment, because then they can recognize the effort put into everything and the thought process put into everything, because they can look at it from an analytical point of view versus a biased point of view. You know, for example, I don't wear Jordan tennis shoes, but I can look at a pair of Jordans and I can say, those are really nice shoes. And I can differentiate the ones that I think look good versus the ones that I don't think look good, even though I don't wear Jordans at all. You know what I'm saying? So I can remove my personal bias out of that. And I can just appreciate it as a good shoe and the amount of effort put into the shoe. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to say, oh, the shoes, like, that's hundreds of hours of work, you know, design process down to, you know, what's done in the factory, all that type of stuff. So I think it's important to have someone who understands some part of the industry to, you know, in order to judge. You know, I don't think it's, but then again, though, I don't know if the judges did or did not have experience, but it seems to me like sometimes that is the case.
Well, I'm just glad they all made it to the end of the night.
Yeah, that's good too. And, you know, they seem to be professional. Yeah,
they seem sober and they stayed to judge every person. So that's a step in the right direction. We used to have a rule, which we implemented. I'm not sure how it was implemented. I don't know how long, when we stopped doing it. But we used to have a rule that if you did a routine that was under a year old, you were bonused 50 points.
Okay.
And then that kind of helped.
What?
That helped prevent people with club acts. Well, what happened is, I mean,
that
you guys
made a huge difference.
Yeah,
year.
you guys have made
huge.
You guys have you guys have seen it though, where you know what I'm saying, like people with a routine that's been in the club for a decade ends up placing with that routine.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we were trying to combat that, and I believe it was Axel that came up with that where it was one of those things where if you had a routine that was under a year old, which is fair, because like for example, typically for the November strip off, I compete with the routine I make for my birthday. So, you know, I'd be hard pressed to make one for my birthday, make one for Sexiest Man, then make another one for November. So a year is fair. A year is pretty new, especially if you get that really good act. Might as well. But I don't think that is no longer the case.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things we've tried to do to kind of combat the randomness.
Yeah.
Of the judging. So, you got anything, Dingo?
I would have loved for that to be a part of the stipulations of this strip off or any strip off. 50 points for basically a new act, like that makes the entertainer in me tingle when I hear stuff like that, because that's how it's supposed to be. Perfect. That is absolutely genius. I have that. That needs to happen again. I'm going to say something next meeting I'm in about that happening again. That is just how you motivate. That's motivation. You motivate people that way. If you don't have, if you think you're not going to win because it's just like, oh, an act has been done before, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's up to the people in the front office to be like, well, this here has an extra 50 points because this is original on all ends. You know what I'm saying? Then the balance is affected tremendously. I think that's a great idea. Like actually at at Hard Bodies, the rule was you couldn't win with an act you've done in a strip off before. That was the rule. You could do it. You wouldn't place high. And if you placed, you'd probably place low, like third or at the most probably third. But they would determine like this subject is not available to take first because they did this in our strip off last year. So we were encouraged to make new acts pretty much all the time if we wanted to take it seriously and to try to win.
Yeah. It just, you also have to think though with like new guys and stuff like that, like the ongoing rotation, because typically it falls on the veterans to help the new guys make a routine, you know?
Yeah.
So it like it's tough to sit there and put the extra work in and try to help out, which granted I get it, it's a team effect and the better the show, etc., but you know it takes work and time and effort to do that, and then to do it for someone that may or may not be there at the end of the month is a little rough, you know. And then
my God,
plus it goes back to them earning it as well. Like if they put in the effort and they want the new routine and they do what they need to do to make it happen, they're gonna value that a lot more than when we're just like, here's a strip off winning or a primetime worthy routine that we're just handing to you.
Exactly. And then they all of a sudden that privilege follows them throughout their career. That's the one thing that I did my best to stop every time I saw that start to flourish. Actually, Juice is really good at spotting that. He's like, no, because he was one of the people who'd give acts. He'd be like, you know what? No, clean up that act. You're not using it anymore. Just like that. He'd be like, no, clean up that act. No, when you start coming to rehearsals, no, when you get here on whatever, stipulations, because he was one of the ones who'd be the first to be like, look, I can make you this act because I want to see you do well. But then they start to get a little big for their britches. Then you got to take it away from him and be like, okay, make your own act if you're so special. And then they're like, no, I'm sorry. I should have listened. I'm humble now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But all right, man. We are creeping up on time, so let's go ahead and put a bow on it. All this is show, which leads us into our worst and best events of the week. So who wants to kick us off this week? Don't all jump up at once. All right, Dingo, you premised one at the beginning of the show. Go ahead and go into that. You know, when that lady smacked you.
It's crazy because you know what? I have two bad events because I had been gone a couple weeks off the show, so I, have to share both of these. So one of these, I was on side stage and this lady came up and was like, She was like, she was really drunk, really wasted, had some money in her hand, but she was doing that thing where she had money, but she'd give you just like one at a time, real slowly, and expect you to do the world. So she was like, "Come on, dance," and
I was dancing when
okay.
you walked up here.
Like I was like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and put minimal effort into this because you've already disrespected me. But I get back to like the top of the side stage, and you know how like they can step up on the side stage, or they can step up on that step
Mm-hmm.
on y'all's side stages. Well, she was
Y'all's,
tipping.
dude, it's your club too now.
I know. It just came out that way.
What do you mean, y'all's?
What do you mean? So, um, she cocked back with $1. She like it's like she she cocked back with $1 and open hand slapped my chest like really hard from about 180 degrees back all the way around, skidoosh onto my chest. And I looked at a friend. I was like, "Get her out of here." And a friend was like, "I'm sorry," and took her. But honestly, that's not as funny as what happened this week or last week when I was DJing one night. It was Wednesday when I was DJing on Wednesday. There were these two girls there. I remember one of their names, and I'm not gonna say their names, but they came up
LaQuisha.
there. Yeah, for the hell of it, LaQuisha and someone else came up there. So she looks in there, and it's funny because when I imitate her, you're gonna be like, "That's not a LaQuisha." So she came up there and she introduced
Stephanie.
herself. That's way closer to what the voice is gonna be. So she came up there and was like, "Oh, can you play us some dance music?" And I was like, "What?" Well, actually,
Oh, mm-hmm.
she started off with this. She started off with, can you play some dance music? Something we can, something we can dance to. And well, I know you can't do anything about it, but I'm like, so I can't do anything. And you were on stage, Suave.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you gave me a list. You don't want me to deviate from that. That's not how you get down. If so, you would have said that. You'd have been like, just play whatever at the end. They didn't understand that. They even acknowledged it, but then pretended like they didn't understand it. So she goes, how come Caden isn't in here? And I was like, because I feel like I can DJ tonight, like yada yada. I just kind of was giving him a little bit of banter, trying to be nice about it, but I'm a stand-in. I'm not the normal DJ. I have to be on my most professional self all the time. I'm not comfortable in that environment to where I can just be having people around me, especially people I don't know, walking up and talking to me and going in and out of the DJ booth
Mm-hmm.
and not tipping me.
I mean,
You know
that's
what I'm
always the
saying?
icing in the cake, ain't it?
There's a tip jar, and it's literally right where you have to look past it almost to talk to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's on the same plane of vision. You don't have a choice but to see it.
Dude,
So
when in doubt, man, just tell him, be like, hey, this is a guy's set mix. I can't change it.
yeah, I told him that, but they were like, but they're being so vague. She was like, "Oh, can I get some dance music we can dance to?" And I was like, "You can dance to everything in here. You can't. You probably can't dance. It doesn't make sense what you just said." So this girl comes into the DJ booth, and then this other girl, her friend, she introduces herself, and you're gonna have to edit this upcoming part. I'm just letting you know. But she goes, she knocks over those like those words that are like the LED little words in the DJ booth.
Yeah, the promo. Mm-hmm.
She knocks it over. So I'm like, you know what? Get out. You gotta go. Get out. And she goes, "Yeah, we like Hayden better."
Wow.
I don't remember what I said. I didn't care much, but I don't even remember what I said. But I was laughing so hard to myself. But I was like, man, you're really that entitled to where you think you can just change the whole course of a show and you're not tipping anyone. Like, don't ever in your life think that the world owes you anything, especially from an area where you're not contributing. How dare you?
And the worst thing is, it's always from people that you feel should know better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm sure I've seen them in there. They be around. They're not stupid. They're just playing. No, get that. Don't. I'll correct that energy very quickly. Don't even bring it around me. So that was pretty much the worst. I guess you could say the worst, but overall, as far as it being good, I was glad that the show went smoothly. My act went fairly smoothly for something that I taught the third man the night before. That's just ridiculous, and I wasn't even going to try. The fact I appreciate him actually volunteering to learn that. You know, and that actually made the act a whole lot better. Three guys is better than two, or something like that, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I've dabbled in two-man routines a couple of times, and it works out pretty well. But I think three just kind of adds the more, the more bodies on stage, the more powerful. So for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty sure that's it, man. Best part of the week was just the show was very, besides very, like, it was worth me being there for like everything. Like,
Yeah, no
I
doubt.
I enjoyed the entire experience.
Okay, what about you, brother?
Worst experience. Girl put ice in my underwear.
What?
Yeah. It happened Friday night, I believe. So I'm on stage. It's actually towards the end of the night. So some drunk chick just walks up to my stage, and first she tips me. So I think, okay, cool, or whatever. So I'm thinking she's, about to get down. So I'm helping her down. And so with her other hand, I guess she was hiding ice or something in her pocket. She pulls ice out, reaches right into my underwear, and just fucking puts cubes in my underwear. So, I mean, needless to say, I politely asked her to never come back to my stage.
Axel's been on the show, and one of his things was a girl poured a drink down his underwear.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
it's absolutely crazy, some of the stuff we have to deal with sometimes.
That would.
I guess best event is I tried out some new things on the rope, and that went pretty well. Pretty cool stuff going on.
We like Caden better. I didn't ask for any of that. Saying like I asked for that.
Well, for me, my worst event also involves some females. It was during the strip off, and I was sitting on stage 5, which is the one nearest the door, and these two upbeat women with a gentleman all sit down at the VIP booth right there, and I'm dancing, doing my thing, and I've identified I don't remember why, but I identified that the two females are dancers. Don't ask me how I know, I just know. I can't remember the specifics of it, whether I know they're dancers, like actually, or just the way they were acting or whatever. But, so I feel something like hit my shoe. I look down, I don't see anything. I'm like, all right, that's a little weird, but all right, whatever. Go back to dancing. Then something hits my leg. Then I look down, it's a crumbled up dollar. I look around, they're like super enthusiastic, they're giggling. I'm like, okay. Go back to dancing. Finally, like, one hits me in the chest. And I look, and then they're about to ball up another dollar bill to throw it at me. And like, it's kind of like minute, but like, I just don't feel like there's any kind of scenario where that's okay for anyone that has any kind of self-worth. You know what I mean?
agree with you. It is
Like, I feel like that was extremely, like, not extremely degraded, don't get me wrong. I didn't feel like I was violated, but I was like, you're a dancer. Like, I'm sure you've complained about the exact same thing when guys are sitting down on their tables throwing dollars on your stage, crumpled up. Like, don't get me wrong, to an extent, it is money, and they are somewhat tipping you, but I guess the way they handled it made it seem like it was more of, like, cheap parlor tricks or a game. So I ended up just kind of walking off the stage. I left the money there and just walked off. I was like, I need to go help someone anyway, so I was like, I just got off a little bit sooner. And it threw them off a little bit that I left the money, but it's not me. Like, I'm not, if you walk by, throw money on my stage or whatever because you want to touch me or you appreciate what I'm doing, that's one thing. But to sit there, crumble up dollar bills and then throw them at me like I'm some kind of gorilla or something behind a cage, like, that doesn't work for me. And then, once again, it was from somebody that should know better. Yeah. That I wasn't crazy about. So, and then plus they're breeding bad habits because the gentleman that they're with probably thinks that's okay. So whenever he goes to a ladies club, that's how he's gonna end up tipping, or a gentleman's club, that's how he's gonna end up tipping those girls. And like it just I felt like it was an experience I didn't need to do, or I could have done without. As far as my best event of the week goes, it actually is just the fact that I got a lot of feedback about my routine, trying something new, experimenting. It wasn't up to par of where I wanted it to be for the show, but at the end of the day, like, the show was there and you had to get it done. And but a lot of feedback was that people even forgot to breathe while I was doing the routine. So I got that from several people. So I took that as a huge compliment that I was able to captivate my audience like that. And that was a good reward. And then, of course, great show, like you said, Mandingo, and just being able to kick it with my homies, my friends all night long, whether it's some of the girls that came out to support me or my guys. Like, it was a great night. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Even pictures were fun. So life was pretty good, man. I can't complain overall. It was a great event. But all right, guys. That's going to be it. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Suave, where can people reach you at?
You can reach me on my social media, Suave the Dream, on Instagram. Also, if you want to follow my photography page, that's going to be Ellison Editorial, also on Instagram.
Okay, sweet, man. Definitely check it out, guys. He posts pictures up there quite regularly. He's quite the photographer. Definitely check it out. Give him a follow. And if you need any private work done, definitely message him as well and set that up. He's got pretty reasonable rates, not gonna lie. Dingo, hit us with your social stuff.
This social media plugin will also come along with an announcement about how my social media might be changing here soon. So right now you can find me So right now you can find me on Instagram at HeneTrain, HeneTrain, one word, and then in the name area you'll see it says Mandingo Jones. I am actually considering consolidating my musical personality and my dance personality as one and letting Mandingo Jones be the name of both. So upcoming here shortly, a lot of my social media might change to just that, Mandingo Jones or Dingo Jones, but I will keep y'all posted on that. So for the meantime, HeneTrain on Instagram, on Twitter, HEN3 TRAIN, no underscore, no /, none of that. Right now my SoundCloud, HENE-train. Facebook, you can find me under Mandingo Jones. I believe those are all of my plugins for the meantime. But yeah, stay tuned.
Sweet. All right, guys. This is Cesar the Crowd Pleaser here. Once again, you can catch me on Instagram or Twitter at Cesar LaBare 7. I am most active on Instagram, so if you're going to hit me up there with a follow, a like, subscribe, message. I do it all. And then, like I mentioned earlier, twitch.tv/Jedi_EJ is my latest adventure where I am streaming live my rehearsals, my free time, my constructive, my editing, all that stuff is on there. Come hang out. Let me know how your day is going. I'd love to hear from you. And that's about it. Suave, thank you so much for being on the show, man. I really appreciate you taking the time to do that.
Thank you for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Sweet. Dingo, always a pleasure, brother. This show has been elevated to a higher level of ascendancy thanks to you and your creativity.
Hey, man, I'm just here to have a good time.
And
thank you for having me.
And document the rare white albino elephant.
The albino shark elephant.
Sharkafant.
The albino shark event roams the plains of every single South African mountain.
The plains on top of a mountain, aka plateau.
Oh,
The African plateau.
the 6'7" scorpion roams.
God, that'd be freaking horrible, man.
The Scorpion
Damn,
King was right. We knew this.
7 feet scorpions.
All right, guys.
That'll be
With
horrible.
that digression into the oblivious humor pit that is Dingo Jones, we're going to go ahead and call it a show. Thank you guys once again so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. We do this show because of you. So thank you. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below if you were at the strip off, how you felt the judging should have went. If you feel like Dingo should have surpassed me by the 1 point below and been 1 point above to take third place, as I feel like he should have actually probably even been second, believe it or not. But anywho, let me know in the comments below. Hit us up. If you like this kind of show, definitely give us a high rating, share us, like us, subscribe to us, all those good things. And until next time, keep bringing the rain.
Look at me, I'm the captain now. I am focused, I'm in my zone. You can binge watch like Game of Thrones. Reserve your judgments, don't throw no stones. Who's and I scream as loud as you don't. Airplane mode on tablets and phones. Caesar's crowd pleasers is now on. Caesar, the crowd pleaser. If you need to pick me up, ladies, we gon' change your demeanor. Caesar, the crowd pleaser. We gon' do a little dance, we gon' make the naysayers believe us.